Rarely does a story that we follow for so many years get better as it goes on. Rarely does that story have a satisfying ending, and rarely does one manga chapter perfectly represent everything that we love about the series. But chapter 138 of Attack on Titan did just that. This is a crowning jewel of this story that has been in making for almost 12 years now. Isayama, in just below 50 pages, managed to create a chapter that not only succeeds to finish his story in a proper way, but somehow also gave us everything that we have known to love about his work. Although I still personally feel that Marley Arc and specifically Chapter 100 are a peak of Isayama's skills as a storyteller and a writer, marking the point in which Attack on Titan for me truly became a great series. I think that chapter 138 is best chapter he ever created. This chapter is a love letter to the series that he has been writing for more than a decade now, but also a satisfying end of this journey that we have been following for so many years. And obviously there is still one chapter left, but still I just wanted to give a giant praise to Isayama for crafting this story. And now I would like to talk about this chapter. Okay, when we look back at chapter 137 and how it ended, I think it is safe to say that many people were a bit disappointed. And I personally felt that it was a serviceable ending, like the ending we saw in the chapter 137. But really, one of the reasons why I felt that this chapter was so amazing is because I truly didn't believe that Isayama can surprise us one last time, and I was very, very wrong. We start the chapter off with the image of colossal titans falling on their knees and basically rumbling stopped. And this baby actually survived, and I think I said it in my previous reviews that I think this baby represents the innocence of a child and generally the peace that people will now value more than ever. And we see next Gabi's family and Reiner's mother, and we see Falco just coming with everybody. We see that Aaron's skeleton is disintegrating, and we basically see this heartwarming reunion between warriors and their families. And I really love it. I did not realize how much time has passed since the war at Marley, and how basically probably some of those people thought that Gabi is dead, for example, or Falco. And it is very nice to see that they managed to reunite with their families. And basically, Connie's face and the face of the scouts and Connie's words says it all. We have our regrets, but we stop the rambling for sure. I know that the translation is maybe off, but I really like we have our regrets, but because truly they have regrets because they betrayed their homeland in some way, but they saved the world. They sacrificed a lot, but it was for the rightful cause at the end. And I think that the image of these kids being reunited with their families, it means a lot to them. And then we see that Annie is going to her father. Obviously, you know that this is not the end. I suspected even from the previous chapter that Eren is not dead. And we see Armin rising, looking like he's just done with everything. And we see that Reiner survived. And then we see this centipede, and I really never liked that centipede too much, like the idea of this centipede be just fighting in this war, but whatever. And then we see that this is not over, still giant explosion behind Armin, and Eren coming in his colossal titan form. And this is my only complaint with this chapter, and I'll be fast. I think that this is something that happens with Isayama a lot. He basically pulls powers from his pocket, just when they are needed to happen, he creates them. And I don't like that. I think it would be better if he foreshadowed that founding titan Eren can use powers of the other titans or something like that. I would like that much more, but nevertheless it looks cool. Just that is my only problem with this chapter. And we go on and see Gabi says we must stop Eren reuniting with that squid or slug thing. And basically all warrior candidates are Peak is Dad, I need to do one last job. Things are still not over. And this next panel, I honestly did not see the gas that was coming from Centipede. I thought she was just really hot. The steam is coming from her. And yes, I know that I didn't say I really like how Falco says I'll make my brother proud. really we didn't have mention of Colt for a very long time. Yeah, Reiner just goes to Slug thing to stop it, and then we see on next panel like Annie's dead with his general and how he helps him to stand up. And I really think when this war is over, I think that this general will have a crucial role in creating peace among the nations, like with the Paradise Island and the other nations that are left after the rumbling, of course, because he's like now the highest ranking Marleyan, I think. But that doesn't matter at this moment because finally, after 100 plus chapters, Annie reunites with her dad, and this moment for me was done beautifully. Like, you see it in their eyes. I don't know what to say. I love this panel, but then you see this ominous smoke, and even at that moment I did not know what this smoke was, but I knew, like, from the way it was shot, from the way it just goes towards them, I knew that it was something bad. But I was confused the first time I saw it. Even Nanny looks confused, and basically everybody's looking at the smoke. Like, some comments about is it the steam that is coming from the dead centipede? And then Connie says, isn't this the same thing as Rogako village? And at that moment I knew what that meant, but I was like so much shocked that my mind did not want to admit it. And Peak is basically at this moment us as the audience. What are you talking about? I think that Peak knows 100% what this means, but she just doesn't want to admit it. And I think that Levi in this moment, like, Peak represents the audience, but Levi represents Isayama, and he's like, get on the Falco, we're getting out of here, like, calm, calculated. But once Peak says, like, no way, that's like, she's hesitating to go on the Falco, he's like, hurry, and you see that in his face that his emotions are like just releasing them, like, in anger and shock. And here you really see how Levi functions, like, he's very calm and calculated, but once, like, he loses his comrades, friends, he's just like, he cannot contain his anger. And it really, like, you realize how much Levi lost in this whole series and how much he's losing now. Like, he basically lost his comrades, friends, and now, like, this new generation, like, is dying too, and he's the only one of the old generation that is still alive, like the older generation, the scouts. You really realize that he's one of the characters that have lost the most throughout the series, and I don't think that he had really a lot to begin with. And like, everybody is in the shock and going away, like Peak is trying to like go from Falco, like just scream, like say goodbye to her dad. And you see everybody, all the characters who are like going to turn into Titans, just standing here. And really, like, I don't understand this Falco scream. I just don't want to talk about it because I don't understand what it means. But you see Connie and Jean, and they're basically accepting their fate. It's just the Scouts' way, and Connie like says, like, we were trying to save the world, remember? And you really realize at this moment, like, this is the end for their characters. And I think it is a great one because Jean was the guy who once was, I just want safe life, good life. But as the time went on, he became more and more invested and more ready to sacrifice himself for the greater cause. And Connie's character at this point, like, after basically Jean is now dying and Sasha is dead, I think, like, after all his buddies have died, I don't think Connie has that much reason to be in this story anymore. And I think his final words, like with Jean, are great ending for his character. And it is really, really sad that Annie and her dad cannot reunite for one last time. And then you see that the gas effect has happened, like everybody turned into Titans. And yeah, Armin, like, how is this even possible? I don't know, but it happened. And then you see that Titans are just now like coming towards this centipede thing to help it reach Eren. And Reiner is like, you won't go past me. And yeah, I really love Reiner. He's one of my favorite characters. And basically this is his last stand. And it's really like, you realize how much he suffered, obviously, throughout this series. How he basically lost everything, and he's still willing to fight. He keeps moving forward, as Eren said, no matter what. And then you see like Armin and Eren one last fight. And this panel I love because, like, obviously two colossal titans fighting, but really colossal titans for me like the true titans, you know, like 60 meters tall. You really see the scale of these beings in this image. I really love how at this moment, like Armin, and in this next panel when Reiner sees his mother and Connie, Jean, Gabi, and when you see that like Peak as well and Annie, they're all now like 100% ready to fight. Like they don't care anymore about Eren once being their friend. They're willing to kill him. And I love Reiner's words here, when will he pay for it? Because Eren at this point killed so many people that there is no coming back from this. And I love how everybody is basically like in their faces you see so much anger and sorrow and grief for what is happening right now. Basically everybody is crying because at this moment there is no hope for happy ending in this story. Everybody lost so much that it is beyond repair. And at this point, like, why do we even fight when so many people are dead? And you see that Mikasa has headache, and I love Levi's comment, like, get your shit together, and then this vision starts. And I'm not sure if this vision is just like a symbolic what would happen if, or is this like the real vision that Eren is creating for Mikasa with some powers that we don't know. But whatever is the case, this vision actually shows what would happen if they run away from war, run away from everything. And like it is very, very cool because you actually see how Eren feels about the Mikasa and how he actually says to her that she must forget him, because no matter, like, even if he did not choose the rumbling and this future, he would still only have 4 years to live. And he says that Mikasa must go on without him even after that. And I really, really like that because it was like always destined to happen, and that Mikasa must go on without him. And then you see like this next shot of like Eren demolishing Armin with the hardened colossal titan fist, something that we did not see before. We see everybody getting absolutely wrecked by mindless titans, and then you see Mikasa taking the scarf, like, and looking completely badass, and she says, I cannot forget you, and she says, then I'll kill him, help me do it. And I love like Levi's reaction, that he's at complete awe, like realizing that she's ready to do it. But next panel says it all, like he's ready to help her because he knows how much this means to her. And I really love like Mikasa at this moment because she was for me the worst character in this whole series, because she was always so one-dimensional, and like you really never saw that connection that she had with Eren. But I must admit that it was very important relationship throughout the series, although I don't think it is a very good one. And this for me, like I'll kill him, truly says that she's now finally free, that she can finally not forget him, but finally go past the love she once had for him, because that is what she must do now. And this next panel is absolutely badass, like the scale, the action, and just like Levi, Mikasa, Armin, and Eren looking like freaking devil. It is perfect. And Levi then destroying the teeth, and Armin holding the head, and her entering actually this mouth. And I love this shot right here, how much determined she looks. You don't see the eyes, but just the pose, and it just looks epic. And at this last moment, like their last look at each other, and Eren at this moment looks just like he accepted his fate. He realizes this is how it is destined to be. Like, it's not the future he wanted, but it is how it has to be. And see you later, Eren. And this last panel, I must admit, it is kinda unnerving seeing her kissing a dead head, and Ymir just like a creep smiling at the distance. You know what, this was amazing chapter, so I'll give it a pass. And yeah, like it is one final goodbye for the boy who sought freedom. And I hope that Isayama in next chapter does not like back off, like once Centipede gets killed, everybody gets turned back to the human. I think that he must have a certain like weight like to his story, like he must at least leave Jean and Connie like in Titans or dead. I think that Reiner will save Gabi, like Gabi will eat Reiner probably. But yeah, this chapter was amazing truly, because it had everything that we have come to love about this series, all the just epic moments, sacrifices, giant battles, plot twists. Like this chapter truly was a love letter to this story, and I absolutely loved it. And I obviously did not make like for many chapters before this the review, but this one was truly special and I just had to do it. I am probably making a video about top 10 characters at the end of the series, and probably like one just like giant series overview, but that is when this whole series ends. And I hope you like this video, and till those videos, I hope you are doing well. Bye.